the off button. It's too early for this.
2 p.m. It's 4 p.m. for you. Alright, hello and welcome everybody to the Southern Cross Dota Tides Wrath Season 3 Grand Final. It is a best of 5. Can't say whips up against Hans Reborn. CSW, because they won the upper bracket, are 1 game ahead. I am the Spectre, and joining me is Daredevil Dan. Welcome, Dan.
Hello, and thanks for the lovely welcome there. And I'm ready to get these games down. Obviously, we have CSW and a game advantage, and look at Hans Reborn already banning out the Fit Spirit.
I know,
10 seconds to go.
It confuses me still, because it's a new portrait as well. I'm just like, it's Storm Spirit, right? Takes
But
like
look
a half
at him.
a
He looks
second.
so happy with himself now. He's like, yo, check out this bod. Yeah.
Drop
Yeah.
the weight. All
Dire's
that ball
banned.
lightning, good for the body.
Good for the body.
And Lich getting banned out as well. Pretty much a staple first ban now on 6.79. Definitely a strong hero if you're going to go dual lanes, or if you want to be aggressive early on with level dependent heroes.
10
His
seconds to
sacrifice
go.
does take away a lot from him.
5
Yeah, it
seconds.
really does. You lose a lot on the lane. You keep it pulled back. You can play him as a decent offlaner, a really good
Reserve
support.
time.
He can go mid in some situations, but it feels kind of like a waste putting him mid because he can do well everywhere else. I mean, I understand why it's first banned, but I still think there's better things to ban out. Because these teams know each other so well, they just ban against each other rather than the pool. Maybe that's why we see the Storms for it. Or just because he's handsome mustachio smiley man now.
Well, the next
Radiant
ban is
pick.
kind of more aimed towards risk than anything else. I think before we had an infographic in an earlier Tidedrath game where Firestarter / Risk has only lost 1 game on Nyx Assassin, and it was against Can't Say Whip
Dire's
when it
pick.
dropped him down into the lower bracket. So I think he was something like 6-1 on the hero. So I think it is pretty much a ban out there. Not just because, you know, Nyx is a strong support. He did kind of get nerfed with the target points done. It's a lot harder to hit. You do get used to it after a while, but it is now a skill shot, and yeah, it is much harder to land. So Hans do pick up the Nature's Prophet
10
first.
seconds to go.
So it's a
So
favorite of
that'll be
Endless.
Endless Winter, yeah. He
Dire's
loves that
pick.
hero and he plays it really well. And they do the old rat Dota.
Well, yeah, I mean, it seems that whenever these two fight each other and they're kind of playing
Radiant's
for a
pick.
big prize, one of them goes super split push, aggressive style, and they seem to always win with that. So, you know, CSW do pick up Sand King and Venomancer, which are 2 really, really good early supports for killing. So it looks like they might want to end the aggression and the split push before it can even begin. I would assume that they're going to be doing a lot of aggressive moves onto Endless in that
10
off lane.
seconds to go.
Usually he switches to the jungle at around level 4, so hopefully they'll continue
5
roaming onto him
seconds.
when they...
Yeah, and these two they pretty much can now just pick 3 strong
Reserve
solo laners
time.
and have these 2 roam around the whole map all the time. I mean, this combo of roaming, you've got the slow to initiate the Sand King stun, and anyone else in that lane can just push out the damage, and even Venomancer's right clicks,
Radiant's
especially
banned.
once he's level 2, not something to feel bad about. He does a lot of damage.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think the only thing that really hurt Venomancer in the recent patch was the fact that the damage over time was removed from level 1 Gale, but
Dire's ban.
it doesn't seem to have affected him too much. I guess the most common build that we're seeing is actually 1-1-1, and then depending on what you're really doing, a player will max Poison Sting or Wards next. I don't think I've ever seen anyone start to max Gale
10
since the new
seconds to
patch.
go.
So just the way that they added Poison Sting to those wards really kind of changed the
5
way
seconds.
that people were in that regard.
Radiant's banned.
And it does make him really heavy on lane harass and kill potential as well, having that poison maxed out. It's a lot of tick damage that
Dire's
done to
banned.
heroes. You can basically one-hit the you know, a support hero and have them down at half health with the full duration shot.
Yeah, you really can. It's pretty scary to go up against, but Hans Reborn banning out the Mirana and the Lone Druid.
10 seconds
Can't
to
say
go.
Whip's taking out that Nyx, which, I mean, it's just scary to play against.
5 seconds.
I don't think it's really against anyone. It's the fact that it's
About
a Nyx
time.
and his creepy zombie
Reserve
dog man
time.
thing.
I think at the moment it's also because their lineup is heavily relying on magic damage. You have the Epicenter, the Poison Nova, and basically everything that Sand King and Venomancer can offer to a fight is completely mitigated, you know, by Nakes and his Rage. So, yeah, it's a decent ban out for going against a carry that, you know, just won't have that instant BKB built in. Or like Puck, where you can really mess up an initiation if you get off a silence at a good time. Or even keep the Sand King in one place by throwing out that ulti and just kind of zoning him a little bit. So CSW do have the next pick. You know, with Sand King and Venomancer, they might, you know, pick up the Queen of Pain. Slicks has been really favoring that hero as of late. It hasn't been banned out, and the Puck ban out as well kind of lends you towards more of a Queen of Pain-esque mid-hero, so
5 seconds.
You know, I think that that's what they'll go for, but
yeah, generally when you take out the Puck, you put the Queen of Pain in. So we won't be seeing Puck versus Queen of Pain, as we do almost every game.
Radiant's
with Can't Say Whips, they either pick the Puck or pick the Quap, and the other team picks the Puck or picks the Quap. And Slicks generally loses at the start, then wins later.
It's basically, as soon as he gets his Scythe, he completely craps all over the enemy Puck, and, you know, we will see Can't Say Whips pick up that Queen of Pain. It should be a very exciting mid to watch, because at the moment Hans don't have anyone, and Shaitan really likes to play Tuskar as of late. Like the past kind of month or so, I think I've seen him only play Tusk and Puck, and it's been like 80% Tusk. And we're actually going to see them pick up a Pugna. Do you think this is going to be a tri-lane Pugna, dual lane Pugna, or a mid Pugna?
Honestly, I would put the Pugna mid here because Queen of Pain wants the Roman gank, and as soon as mid leaves when they're against a Pugna, you kill the tier 1. Like, it doesn't take any time to take it down, so you can basically just push the tower within the time he's ganking. So I'd like to see it mid, and I mean, if you look at it, Nature's Prophet and Pugna, two really good pushing heroes. Pugna not really much of a split pusher, but just sort of balls down a lane with the team. And Nature's Prophet, obviously, King of Rat Dota. So maybe we'll see just a lot of push coming out of Hans Reborn. It'll be more up to the next picks or so. But we should see definitely some good pushing out just from those two heroes. And Can't Say Whips, they have a decent amount of counter push. Veno wards are obviously quite good at defending towers because you can't nuke them down. But if they don't have the levels yet and you're just balling down, they can't stop you.
Yeah, and I think the Pugna pick is really great as well for the Nether Ward. I mean, at the moment, as I was saying before, they are a completely magic-oriented lineup, and Queen of Pain has some massive mana cost spells when she gets up in a fight. I mean, if you're throwing out that ultimate, multiple screams, blinking, shadow striking, that Nether Ward is going to do a lot of damage to you, so it's going to depend, like, I think these fights are going to depend a lot on where the Nether Ward is placed, and if they can kill it off before.
10 seconds to go.
It's going to be, I think it's going to be very difficult for CSW to initiate into this Pugna. And CM is just going to compound onto that. So until Slicks can pick up the BKB, then it's not going to really work out well for them in these kind of fights. When it goes into that kind of 4-on-4 or 3-on-4. Because, I mean, at the moment it looks like Nature's Prophet is just going to be off on his own. Then Pugna's going to be in there as well. And Hans Reborn are going to pick up an Earthshaker. So,
yeah.
You
Interesting pickup for them. It doesn't really suit the pushing sort of stand that I was talking about, but definitely great initiation range, good stun, a lot of lockdown on the hero. And I think whenever we see anyone play this hero, I think the most noted person playing it is Tomato, but obviously not on either of these teams. They generally seem to get fast mana boots and fast blink up on this guy.
Yeah, they definitely do. Prioritizing it on the Earthshaker. I think he's also great for initiation in this patch. You know, the extra 100 range doesn't seem like much, but it's actually pretty massive. You can hit a Fissure while you're still in smoke and, you know, have vision of a hero. It's pretty insane, and when you follow it up with something like a Rubik Lift, even if you miss the Fissure, you can get them on the right side of it. And also, it hurts heroes like the Sand King. If you're trying to blink if you manage to hit a Fissure on him long range, the blink dagger's disabled. Or if you see him channeling up Epicenter off to the side, blink forward Fissure, cancel it off before he can come in. It's really good. Plus, you can also use some area denial there. If you use the Fissure, have Pugna put the ward up behind it somewhere. Only the Queen of Pain can really come forward to try and kill it. And if she does, she's up against 3-4 heroes instantly. So, you know, I think Earthshaker's a decent pick, and we'll really have to kind of watch how he moves around the map early on. And kind of wondering what they're picking up for balls. Are we going to see balls on the Pugna, or are we going to see a carry Earthshaker?
I honestly can't see Balls playing a Pugna. That's not his style at all. This guy, he's a super aggressive player, and with Pugna, that's not really what he does. Like, you more take towers down, push. You can turn into aggressive sort of player once you pick up maybe an Arganims or something like that, but more often than not, he will just be taking down towers.
Well,
but I definitely think both of these teams' carries are going to need BKBs because there's so much magic damage on the board. A lot more for Can't Say Whips, but definitely a lot on both sides. So it's going to be a bit dangerous.
Yeah,
and Pugna Ward is just going to completely destroy Can't Say Whips in these fights.
Exactly, and Pugna has to be very careful on who he uses a Decrepify on. Because if he uses it defensively, it may be a very, very bad move.
To go.
I guess it kind of depends. Like, because at the moment, CSW don't have a right-click carry, but they pick up the Lycan now.
I could have actually seen the Lycan going on Hans Reborn rather than Can't Say Whips, but I mean, if you look at their team, they do have a decent amount of push, and Lycan, if they can keep him safe, you can pick up things very fast, you know. Treads Vlad's BKB in 17, 18 minutes because you get towers down so quickly. Last hitting on Lycan is the easiest thing ever because he's got like 60 damage straight away, and his physical damage is massive, and we're going to see Timbersaw picked up for Balls.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Balls' Timbersaw is pretty damn good. I love watching it. And Kirei is going to be picking up the Lycan, so more than likely we'll be seeing that safe lane Lycan. Usually you don't see him go to the jungle nowadays, and with CSW's lineup, I don't think you'll be prioritizing farm on anyone but him. The only thing I'm thinking is what happens to their off lane. At the moment, they could maybe run Lycan plus, I guess, CM in one lane and SK and Veno in another. And, you know, SK and Veno together are very strong. But I'm not sure if it'll really work out for them. I mean, there's so much pure burst damage coming out from Timbersaw, even though they are so strong early on. As soon as Timbersaw hits level 6, it's basically a free double kill.
They honestly could be running an aggressive tri lane with that lineup, with the Lycan, Venomancer, SK, and just safe lane a CM. We've seen safe lane CM before, so don't start flaming at me, chat. That's been done, and it worked, and they won.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous, but let's introduce the teams. On the side of Hans Reborn, we have FS, aka Firestarter, aka Risk. On the Earthshaker, on the Timbersaw, we have Balls. On the Rubik is Lippy. Endless Winter will be playing up our Nature's Prophet, and Shaitan will be taking the Pugna.
And over on Can't Say Whips, we have Godot playing the Venomancer, Kide on the Lycan, Slicks is playing the mid Quap, Muffin Man is on the Crystal Maiden, and Guani is playing the Sand King. And something about X Musica, just saying his name. Okay, just hi Musica.
X Musica the best.
30 seconds to go.
And we have Guani down here, already placing down a ward. You know, it does see quite well. The tree did expire right before he placed it. Got that out. They should notice that he only has one ward in his other one. So Guani might get off some free wards without them knowing where it is. Generally, when people deward, they actually put the sentry in kind of this region here. Depending where you put it, because the most common kind of ward spot is there, you might actually miss this one. So,
no more.
You know, it's decent for now. And it looks like we're actually going to be seeing a safe lane Nature's Prophet with an aggro try and Balls in mid. So,
yeah, this Lycan isn't going to get anything on this lane. He doesn't have a stout shield. He went for the Quelling Blade, so he's going to get harassed out really, really quickly, and this tower is going to fall quickly. He's got to be super careful. Coming down into this lane, if he comes down to this river, he basically would have been dead, like, straight away. But ES, he's sort of chilling, roaming around with his bunch of sticks on his back, so he's just going. And Lycan's not going to get anything here. They can just force him out of the lane so easily, as we're seeing.
Yeah, the right-click attack, not only animation, but the damage on Pugna early on is quite... It's extremely strong for a range hero. It seems so powerful, and if you've got a blast as well, anytime he wants to come up for a last hit, you're going to get blasted in the face. You can get lifted up by Rubik as well, and then you're getting double hit constantly. So, yeah, he can't get anywhere near this, and you can see he's almost level 2. He keeps on coming up when the creeps are about to die to try and get the experience, and then just backing off. You know, that new 1300 experience range working out well for Kirei.
Yeah, and he might just grab some wolf switch he has and maybe just go to the jungle. The Crystal Maiden is pulling, so hopefully they can drive the lane back a bit. And he is going to pull it through. He only gets the range creep. Okay, that was a bit disappointing. But Shaitan or Lippy are just going to come over and go, oh sweet, free range creep. Nice.
And some free damage. Meanwhile, on
and
bottom
down
lane,
Endless
Winter might go down here. He will go down to the poison tick. Godot, just too powerful. And we were talking about this dual lane, SK and Venomancer. With the Howl on top of the poison sting damage, which he is maxing, a Venomous Scale and a stun, you have to be playing very defensively. And Endless Winter just playing too far forward that time.
Uproot you.
Yeah, getting caught out there, and we didn't miss First Blood, so shout out to Logical for saying that we'd miss it. Screw you, man. We saw it. Ha.
we did kind of miss the initiation of it, though.
That's fine. We saw the blood. That's all that counts, man.
Exactly, we saw him fall. And we've got Balls and Slicks in the mid, just trading blows at the moment. Balls sitting at 4 and 1, Slicks at 12 and 8. So Queen of Pain definitely flexing her wing muscles, trying to get the advantage here. And, you know, Slick's doing a great job so far.
Yeah, I mean, once the Timbersaw gets some more levels and can stand his ground a bit better against this Queen of Pain, it can sort of even out, but at the start, Queen of Pain just does so much better. Obviously, because of the range, and the attack animation's just better, and the damage is better. So, it's just, she has a pure advantage.
Yeah, and right now, Shaitan, even just body blocking the creep cam so it doesn't stack up. Throwing out the blast, taking last hits. Of course, CM does still get experience for it because of the change. Any non-ancient neutral denied gives experience to any hero in the area. It's not just the team that kills it anymore. So, you know, he'll be happy he doesn't get the gold, but getting half the experience isn't too bad. And Muffin Man may be looking to be aggressive there, but just misses out on his chance. That Crystal Maiden 280 move speed really hurting him there. And Risk actually cutting a swath through the trees. Might be trying to get in a bit of a cheeky Fisher. We see the Fisher come out. The blast gets lifted up. And Pugna getting a kill on that Crystal Maiden.
Absolutely no chance of survival there. So much magic damage to come out. And with the 1 level into Crepify, just giving it, you know, that 50% resistance reduction. So does that mean it does 25% more damage or 50% off 25%?
I'm not too sure how Decrep stacks with it.
It's probably 25% bonus. I don't know. It does more damage.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go. I mean, it does more than it would before.
And we actually have our lead farmer in this game is Godot on the Venomancer. He has opted for phase boots, also bought 8 tangos, so was expecting a lot of harass. Hasn't taken too much as of yet, so...
Well,
it's alright, we're going to see a lift and Fisher up top. Curry in a lot of trouble, the blast comes through. Shaitan picking up the kill. Just stepping too far forward, and as I was saying before, that initiation range on Fisher is just ridiculous. And now we have mana boots on this tri lane. Was just about to say they're all getting low, and boom, mana boots. They should be able to take this tower down without too much trouble either. It's already dropped down to about 400 health.
You know the drill.
Yeah, and with the pickup of the mana boots on Shaitan, it's just going to make this lane so much more powerful. All these heroes are going to have the mana they need. All of them have boots because of how well this started out. So we're not going to see the uber poor supports from Hans because they're getting what they want. And, you know, there's sentry wards on Earthshaker that he's had for a while that he doesn't need to use. And probably he was actually wanting to, I mean, he just wanted vision, really. He doesn't need them on this lane at all other than to de-ward, but...
We're going to see another stun come out on Muffin Man, but Lippy slowed up by that Frost Nova, can't get in range for the lift. Shaitan does take the first tower of the game, though. The T1 at top does fall, and it looks like CSW are looking to strike back, but...
Trouble brewing at
I don't know, at the moment, they are creep skipping. Godot and Guani doing a decent job here, picking up some nice last hits. In fact, Godot's sitting at 42 and 6. You know, it's a lot early on. Risk is sitting in the bushes here. maybe looking for a blocking Fissure. Hits them, gets them on the wrong side, but, you know, it will force them back for now.
I mean, if they ended up on their side, I think they could actually kill them. There's no damage to come out from Endless Winter. He's a level 4 Nature's Prophet, you know. He doesn't really do much, and that's a level 6 Venno and a level 4 Sand King. That's pretty scary with the double poison coming out. He doesn't actually have the mana to do it right now, but at full mana he does.
Lippy lifting up Kirei, putting out the Fade Bolt, but a stun coming out from Muffin Man. Lippy dropping low. The Wolves are chasing him. Shaitan going for the kill, needs one more shot. Balls did come through and provided some help. Kirei now on the run. Balls coming in. He can just chakram through. He should know where he is. He doesn't check it. He goes the wrong way. Kirei's hidden here. He's just using the Coiling Blade as fast as he can. He throws it the wrong way. Lycan does eventually kill Rubik with the Wolves. Goes down to them, and Balls doesn't find Kirei.
Down the radiant structures like this.
Going the wrong way. I think he really should have Whirling Death at one side and Chakram the other, but you know, we can't have it every way. Ball's doing a great job anyway, providing assistance to that gank. He's sitting at 21-3 with 1 assist. Flicks, though, in that mid lane, 43-14. Definitely mid lane 1 for CSW, and we have Endless Winter rotating in.
Yeah, and Kirei and Muffin Man have gone to the dual jungle, which these two heroes can do quite well. And, you know, they've lost a tower, but CSW have the 2 top farmers, and Pugna's not even that far ahead of Lycan. Like, on the net worth, sure, he's about 1,500, but Lycan has a mechanism that he just catches up because he's a Lycan. He doesn't have any way to burst down waves, but he's a Lycan. He just all of a sudden has all the gold in the game. So you can't count him out, and obviously Venno being pretty much at the top. Pugna ahead of the Quap just because of that
maybe
last
in trouble here.
power.
Fissure coming out. Balls is here, throws out the Chakram. Just not enough damage. In comes Guani, throwing out the Nova as well as the Gale. Balls moving nowhere with no mana. They won't be able to chase, and an opportunity lost there. Godot will just salve up Tango and Clarity. He's got all the regen in the world he needs.
Yeah, and these guys now forced out of this lane. Firestarter on very low health, and Balls has to get out from that double poison. So, I mean, not getting a kill with those 2 poisons is a little bit disappointing sometimes, but he didn't die, and he's forced 2 people basically to do nothing. Firestarter should pretty much just go back to base now. He's got no mana, no health. He's just got to walk back, and all this time is just gaining a bit more space for CSW to farm up. And from the look of the teams, you know, if Lycan gets a lot of gold up, and if Slicks can get that BKB as fast as possible, they're definitely still in this. And it's not even really a big advantage. It's just Han's need to take these towers down early. They can't rely on the split push of a Nature's Prophet, because you have a Nature's Prophet split pushing, you're just going to have a Lycan run down that lane and just kill everything.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing that'll slightly help you is a Shadow Blade TP, and that's your push stopped. I mean, that's what you're trying to do, and they're stopping it. It's not going to end well for you. And, you know, talking about early leads, if we look at the experience graph, it's about 1.7k in CSW's favor. If we look at gold, it's also 1k in their favor. So, Hans, the team that really needs everything early, is actually being beaten out. And with all the towers up and being, you know, gold ahead, it's a good place to be for CSW right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're only missing 1 tower, and by this point in the game, when you have a Pugna, you want to have 2 or 3 or even 4 towers by now. Like, it starts to feel a bit bad when your Pugna doesn't get these towers down early, but he's going to building the mech, and he's not too far away, about 300 gold to grab that buckler, as he already has the recipe. So once he gets that up, honestly, they're probably just going to go mass necro books. Balls can get one, Furion can get one, and Pugna can get one. And then you run down a lane and there's nothing CSW can do. They can try nuking them down, but they're going to take so much damage. And Godot in a lot of trouble down here. Endless Winter is going to TP in. Is he going to get the last hit? No, Godot's just going to get away.
Those phase boots paying for themselves. He's escaped on a sliver of health 2 times now.
What's happening?
And these wards must be so annoying for Earthshaker. He's just taking so much damage. With it doing half of the poison damage as well, you can just see it ticking down. It's one of the worst feelings as a support for that to happen.
Yeah, it really is. And
you know, Balls is still well away from his Bloodstone. He's sitting at just mana boots and a bottle at, 10 minutes in. He's only got 31 CS and 1 assist. So at the moment, Ball's not having the best early game.
Yeah, really not. He just got beaten out in the slam by Slicks, but you put a Timosaur against a Queen of Pain, and a Queen of Pain who is this good, you're not going to have a great time. And we see the two supports now, Guani and Muffin Man, smoked up, so going to be looking for a kill on mid, or just going to go through the jungle and try and find Endless, and he's right here. And they can see the trees, they're like, ninja around, we'll get it. But they're actually going to go for bottom by the looks of it.
Firestarter is kind of the easier pickoff. I think they might just be waiting around the trees, wait for him to rotate. They should just go for Endless here. I think they definitely should. The smoke is revealed, so Firestarter should be able to see here. Yeah, they definitely can see him now. We're going to have him come in. Firestarter's trying to run away. Guani might be in a bad spot here. Courier comes through. Needs to be careful with that. He is going to get stunned out by that Fisher. Lifted, decrepified, blasted. He actually gets moved out of the blast by the throw. Guani with the double stun. Trying to run away. Endless Winter is here, but he has no mana to use anything. The right click should be able to go through. The Fade Bolt does get it. Meanwhile, the creeps clean up that bottom tower. So it's going to be a kill for Hans, but a tower for CSW.
And Kide is pushing this top line as well. The TP is going to come through from Balls though, so he will get forced out of here. But, you know, Lycan has his turrets, has his Vlads. Probably going to go for a BKB next. And, yeah, it's...
Lix gets fished in the mid lane, lifted and blasted. A whole ton of damage coming out. It's too much, can't even blink away. The Nature's Prophet ulti came through, and the damage on the blink, I think, sealed the deal there. So, a nice pickup by Hans, a hero that they really needed to kill. He was getting quite close to his BKB. He's already sitting on the Ogre Club, plus 1.4k gold, so really a crucial kill for Hans there.
Yeah, and he actually got the blink off, but he got zapped by the Puckner Ward when he cast it. The animation went off and the mana was used and he just died. So that Puckner Ward showing how strong it is, and it's not underrated anymore. But it used to be a very underrated skill because you could kill it very easily.
Stun up on Guani. The Decrep combo is coming through, but he does manage to Burrow Strike away before the lift can come out. Nice defensive play there from him. And yeah, teams are really starting to prioritize that ward, especially against a team like this who are so magic damage oriented that don't have BKBs yet.
Yeah, both of these teams, like if they both go for full team fights, it's really the fact that Hans would need BKBs over CSW, but I think they're going to be very important on both sides. And Firestarter, gonna pause it up. Oh, look at this down bottom, Godot. He's wiggly worming it Endless. He just got the venomous scale off. Be in a wee bit of trouble down here.
Certainly could be. It does give his team time to react here. We're seeing pings coming out onto the tower. I'm sure he wants some defensive TPs in right now. Speaking of Godot, has the phase boots, has the mech, the Ring of Aquila as well, and 1.4k gold. Do you think he just builds straight into the Ags now, or goes for something like a BKB?
Honestly, I think he could build into the Arganims. The ulti here is going to do so much damage to all of them. It's going to reduce the cooldown a little once it's full level, once he's level 16, and the damage increase is massive. I mean, it's only 20-30 damage each level, but that's each tick on each level. And when you've got 15 seconds of 108 damage to everyone on the team, if you catch them all, you're in a wee bit of trouble. But Endless Winter, he's just going to TP out of here.
I think Godot definitely needs the Abyssal Blade. Stop those TPs. I mean, come on.
Yeah, get a Basher.
Yeah, don't even finish the Abyssal. Just get a Basher, or just get an MKB. Hope for the mini bash.
Yeah, why not?
MKB was pretty standard on on carry Veno, so...
The carry Manta?
Yeah, usually you see like the Manta, and at the moment, the team that has the Venomancer is actually pushing the tower harder than the team with a Pugner and a Nature's Prophet.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Slick's here in a lot of trouble getting stunned out. He is going to get the blink away. He actually used his ulti to kill a few creeps. He hit one hero. So not the best scream from him, but yeah. Godot, he's just going to take a tier 2, but I mean, they're going to take the tier 1 and tier 2 mid if no one reacts, and they're going to try and just trade out a bit. Kide on really low health up here, but they're going to take the tier 1 and a tier 2 for a tier 1 and a tier 2.
Yeah, Curate did kill off Balls, and it looks like, yep, they took the tier 1 top, the tier 2 bottom, and Hans taking the tier 1, tier 2, so a lot of movement, but you know, a lot happening, but it all kind of balances itself out.
Roots and run.
Yeah, I mean, taking the tier 2 mid is very good for Hans because it opens up the Roshan easier. You just have to take the bottom lane. Now, taking those bottom towers isn't the greatest thing against Hans because it doesn't really restrict them so much, other than it makes the jungle a little bit more dangerous, but you can just always ward at the top, and then they're only really scared of smoke ganks. So I think the towers gained for Hans are better, but obviously the gold's going to be fine. It's all basically going to be even, and Venno leading the charge. And as we said with Lycan, you know, he was really far behind that Pugner. Now he's only 600 gold behind, and that's just the catch-up mechanism of the hero. He's sitting on 1400 gold, treads, Vlads, and he's got the Staff of Wizardry, so he is going to build that Necro Book. And now they're just going to go into Roshan, maybe, and try and clear this up. Sort of waiting around. They need vision of the other team, and the wards are going to see 2 of them in mid, so they're probably just going to go for this now. And they can do this really quickly.
Yeah, so Venomance actually bought a straight Necro 1 with the money that he had. So we already see 1 Necro coming up for CSW. Looks like Kirei is going to be going for a Necro. Pugner, Shaitan also going for a Necro. Endless Winter, more than likely going to go for a Necro. So
Illusion.
I think these fights are going to get very messy in the end, and we're going to see a lot of Necro on Necro action. Be the battle of the books.
Yeah, it's going to be the books, but when you've got a Lycan, your books are stronger by a decent amount.
Yeah, they certainly
like 20
are.
extra damage on all of them.
It's yeah, it's pretty insane. And that is on all of them, so it's not, you know, the base attack time of that melee guy is insane. You can see him just hitting down the tower, just boom, boom, boom. When that has 20 damage as well, it's an insane
It's just
amount.
units killing the tower.
Yeah, they're just sending in minions and they have wards. Like, thank God Howl doesn't affect wards for, you know, Hans, but you know, it's doing a lot of work, and I think Hans should be able to get an easy deny here. They just really need to right-click it now, but not going for the deny, going for the fight. Slick's jumping in with the BKB. Ultimate hitting on 2. Shaitan decrepifying himself, but he's going to eat a big stun because of it. The mech comes out. CSW getting a kill, and they're looking to take the tier 2 tower as well. The ult for Queen of Pain down, but Godot's Poison Nova still up. CM ult isn't actually skilled at the moment. Godot going to get stunned out here. Will get lifted and taken down almost instantly. Ball's looking for more kills, but we're going to get a pause out from Lippy.
And the scope disconnect, and all while this happening, Endless Winter is doing what Endless Winter does. Muffin Man, I think, is actually going for the auto attack on the deny as well on this tower. Who's gonna get it?
Alright, carry on.
Yeah.
The Dias gave up a bottom tower.
Ball's still chasing in mid lane. Kirei needs to be careful. That fresh Aegis might get popped almost instantly. We see a TP in from Nature's Prophet. Ball's trying to get past, but gets blocked off by the Sprout, and there goes the Aegis. Barely, you know, a minute or two in. Slick's managing to kill 2 heroes on the back end here. Going for a third. Now Balls is in a spot of bother. Tries to get over, doesn't get stunned out, so the Timber Chain goes full length, and Slicks doesn't have the mana to keep going. But we see that
nice
BKB
engagement
paying
for
off.
CSW. Yeah, he engaged with that BKB, didn't care about anything, got the spells off, got the damage out, and now he's going to go for a Necro Book. This is the Necro Rush, people! Everyone on the team's getting one. Where's the Crystal Maiden Necro? She's got the Midas Builder Necro. She's actually sending out a Belt of Giant Strength and a Ring of Regen. So, into the
Tranquil
Boots and the Necro Book. Nice. the Tranquil Book.
And Godot will have his level 2 Necro Book if Muffin Man doesn't creeps. So uses the Midas on the creep. But you know, Venomancer will have his Necro 2 soon. Those units do a deceptive amount of damage. This early on, it's literally like having a 6th hero on your team. They may not have a stun. You have a mana burn. If you kill off that melee creep, you take 500 pure damage nuke from a level 2. The leveling is 400, 500, 600. So it is a lot of damage. And you can see just that level 1 Necro Book harassing Guani back, along with some of the creeps there. And Hans looking good to take this tower at the moment. We're going to have a Fortify. Muffin Man sitting in the side. We've got Godot thinking about going in. Chakram gets thrown out, and it looks like they're not going to be able to find a way to jump in. In fact, Balls comes in, kills off Godot instantly. Slicks comes in with the DD. Needs to be careful, though, because the ward is up. Pops the BKB, going for right-clicks on Endless Winter, but there's nothing you can really do. It's a waste of a BKB charge there, and a pickup of a Tier 2 tower. A great pickup by Hans there. Now going on Muffin Man, the long-range stun hitting through. It's a double kill for Shaitan there. And Hans looking good to maybe even march uphill here. Venomancer and Crystal Maiden down for another 20 seconds.
Yeah, and they're just going to start this. The glyph is gone, and they've got so much damage that can just come out on this tower. Obviously, with Pugna, it just melts, and they need to stop this. It's only 19 minutes into a game. Arax will just end this game for them.
And SK getting killed off almost instantly with a great lift Fisher. We're going to have an instant buyback and rejoin into the fight. He might die almost instantly. The epicenter gets channeled but doesn't come off. The mech comes out too late. Shaitan dropping low though. In comes the big slam from Risk. Godot dropping low. He's about to die. Balls needs one Timber Chain to get him. We're going to see Kiri on a dominating streak. Queen of Pain killing off Endless Winter. Kiri's running through with his level 3 Necro units. They're trying to kill a Firestarter before he gets away, but the damage isn't there. Muffin Man channeling the ulti, and it's just going to be out of range for Balls. They can't find him, and he gets away. The Tier 3 tower does fall, but CSW managed to hold the base for now.
Yeah, and Nature's Prophet loves it when these Tier 3s are down now, because this lane is basically his. But that team fight, you know, CSW forced them out of the base, and Kide now, he's going to walk towards a BKB, and the Necro 3 obviously just picked up before that fight, so that's really going to work to their advantage. Balls picking up that Bloodstone and Pugna picking up a Necro too, but I mean, you can use these Necro pushes, but one of the bad things about it is the Earthshaker. If you've got all those Necro units down and the Echo Slam comes in, you're going to be in a lot of trouble.
But by that same token, Earthshaker is pretty much just going to kill himself if he does that. So he needs a BKB if he wants to get off an ult and live.
Yeah,
Because
he really does. But
he'll kill
he
all
doesn't
the
care.
Necro units and then die.
He can tank that for the team, man. If he gets an Echo Slam off on everyone and all those units, CSW is all going to be on like a quarter health, and he's going to die. And then you just get the Balls clean up.
It's all going to come down to how quickly they can activate BKBs, I think. Like, because if you slam, there is actually quite a bit of travel time on the Echoes. So it is possible to activate a BKB before you get hit by all of them. You will still get hit by a shit ton of damage, but you may be able to get a BKB off just in time. Although, actually, I believe the initial shock is magical and then the Echoes are physical. If I remember correctly. There's some weird interaction with that. Yeah, the initial damage will go through Magic Immunity, the additional damage will not. Okay, so it's other way around. So the initial damage goes through BKB, but the Echoes don't. And
that's 2 Necro 3s now picked up from Hans as well. Necro 3 on Endless Winter, Necro 3 on Shaitan. Balls having his Bloodstone, Firestarter with the initiation range, and Rubik with the Force Staff, and they're just going to go this again and see what they can make of it.
We see the Necro 3's already popped. I think the biggest point of last fight is that Guani died and brought back. Kiri actually caught on the lower ground here. Throws out the ult, getting body blocked here. Lippy coming forward. Sand King going down as well. Godot trying to get in a good position. Firestarter coming in, ulting only on Slicks. Godot getting off an excellent ultimate. Balls still trying to kill Kiri, but he's going to be able to run back. We're going to see a kill onto the Earthshaker, but Balls going for a kill. He's going to tick down to the damage here. And Hans just getting way too greedy here, go far too deep, get hit by that ultimate, and they're all just going to die here. It's a 4-for-1 trade.
But they got the melee racks.
They did.
They just left the units in there, started fighting, and the units took the racks, and that's exactly what Hans can do, and basically they just do it another lane. And maybe CSW can stop them this time because of that fight, but that's still a racks down, and it's going to hurt CSW, but Lycan, he doesn't care. He's got enough damage to fight this lane.
Yeah, Lycan's gonna have... Well, Lycan has his Necro 3. He's had it for a while. Veno will have the Necro 3 now if he chooses to pick it up. Has 2k gold. We have Slicks with the Necro 2 now. Can get a Necro 3 actually in about 10 gold. So we're gonna have 3 Necro 3s on the side of CSW for the next fight. And it's all starting to look a little bit silly.
This is just Battle of the Necros, right? This whole game. But I mean, that works in CSW's favor in the end because of Howl. Because their Necros will be slightly stronger. But then you've got it against the Echo Slam, which destroys when there's more units. And obviously with a Blink Dagger Mana Boots, he's got no problem with getting into the fight. So I mean, Hans Reborn have the advantage right now. But CSW are definitely still in this game with the top 2 farmers on the map in their Lycan and their Queen of Pain. And Lycan's almost got his BKB. Queen of Pain's got a Necro level 3 now and a BKB. So both of them have got what they want, and if this goes late, Lycan's just going to be too powerful for them to stop. He's just going to click BKB, run at them, and kill them.
And it looks like Crystal Maiden's actually going to be going for a BKB of her own. Really wants to get off that ultimate. There's no real way for them to stop it.
Could actually be a Halberd because of the Belter's strength.
Could.
But then you've got to get into melee range, and no one really right-clicks on their team anyway.
Yeah,
I mean, Endless Winter will do eventually, but...
I think he was going for the Necro, and then he decided he needed a BKB. We're going to see a smoke up here from Shaitan. He is going to be revealed. In fact, both teams smoking. They're going to run into each other. The stun comes out from Firestarter, but hits on no one. Necro 3 units already coming out. Slicks has popped the BKB. Needs to get in there quickly. Throws out the ultimate. Is going to hit on 2 balls, taking barely any damage from it. The Necro 3 units coming in. Kirei trying to go for a kill. Firestarter might be in trouble up in top. Balls jumping over the other side. Pugner does go down. It's all a mess. They're splitting up. We've got Kirei hunting down Balls on the right. Slick's joining him now. Balls in a lot of trouble. He's going to try and timber chain himself away. In fact, gets onto the low ground. Excellent use there. Goes high ground with a crazy chain that for some reason completely bugged out on my screen. But he will live, and Balls just showing his prowess on the timber.
And the Rat Dota was coming up from Endless Winter as well. He was like, I gotta kill stuff. Took down the range barracks, half health the melee, tower in mid, so nicely done by him and all the madness. And experience now, it's about 10,000 in favor of CSW. And gold, it's only 3,000 ahead for CSW, but notice how all the advantages are on CSW, but they're the ones with the racks down. So you can't count them out here, and that racks, I mean, if they get another one, then they're in a lot of trouble. But once, you know, if they can't get that down within the next 10 minutes, CSW are going to look really strong, and the BKB's now finished on Lycan as well.
And right now, it looks like Endless Winter will be building into the Scythe. I'm not sure if I 100% agree with this pickup. I mean, CSW are going to be building mass BKBs. We already see Lycan with one. We see Queen of Pain with one. You know, they're the kind of 2 main damage dealers in these fights. You're going to be able to maybe scythe out Godot, who doesn't have a BKB. Maybe the Crystal Maiden if she ults before having that BKB. But at the moment, Nature's Prophet isn't joining these fights. As you said, he is Rat Dota, and that's what he should be doing. And I think a Desolator would have fit that much more than a Scythe would.
Yeah, definitely. And as he said, you know, against BKBs, Hex does nothing. If you can get the Hex off before the BKBs come off now, but look at this. They know they're here, and Slick's going to crouch out Firestarter.
And the Pugner Ward on the high ground, it's going to do a lot of damage here. Slick's throwing out the BKB though. Ultimate back in 3 seconds. Lycan picking up the Aegis in the meantime. Slicks is going to pick up a kill, but he's getting blasted and slammed. A big epicenter about to come out. Guani hitting it through. Shaitan sure to fall. Godot dropping very low, throws out the mechanism, trying to get something going here. Balls, again, one of the lone survivors on his team. Him and Endless Winter just trying to kill out this Venomman, so they do manage to get the return kill. It's going to be a 3-for-3 trade, but Dire do pick up a Roshan kill and an Aegis on their Lycan throw.
But Endless Winter did get that top tower. That top tower died, so they took a tier 2 while that was going on as well. So basically, even other than the fact that they gained a bit more map control, but the Aegis was gone. So quite good on both sides, really. And I mean, is Rat Dota going to win this game from Endless Winter? Is what going to happen? There's so many Necro books, they all almost cancelled each other out. I think it's going to be the fact that whoever gets the better mana burns off are going to win the fights. Because if you take away Timbersaur's mana, he doesn't do anything. Take away Pugner's mana, he can use his life drain, so probably not the best target. And Pugner, he's got a Hood of Defiance now, and the recipe for Pipe, so he's going to pick that up shortly, and that's going to help a lot against that Epicenter and the Queen of Pain burst, and even the poison damage.
Yeah, Pipe's definitely the next best thing you can get for BKB. It's a lot better for your support players. It really definitely is appreciated from someone who can never afford a BKB, so you know, it's going to give their Earthshaker more survivability. Unfortunately, not blocking, of course, that pure damage from Necro Warriors, but it does stop a lot of the damage that they do have. Well, not stop, but, you know, at least mitigate 400 of it on every hero, so it's not... I wouldn't say it was a necessity, but it's definitely a good pickup here from Pugner, and it could definitely turn a team fight in their favor, popping off a Pipe and a mech.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, do you just aim him down now? Maybe try and get the stun just from the Sand King straight onto the Pugner and just kill him as soon as possible. You don't have the mech, you don't have the Pipe, and all of a sudden, most of their utility from their team is gone. And then you're in a bit of trouble if you're Hans Reborn. Unless Firestarter can get a really good echo, but he's still not level 11.
Trouble here. We're going to see a Sprout Necro 3 blink into slam onto Godot. So much hate. Ultimate used on a lone Veno. But that's a kill. That's a quick kill, and it's on the Venomancer, who, while he was the lead farmer early on, has dropped down to be kind of the lowest core hero, but still a great pickup. It's a Necro 3 that won't be available for them for 50 seconds unless he buys back, and he does have buyback available, I do believe. Yeah, in fact, everyone in the game has it apart from Pugner and ES.
Poor Pugner and ES. So sad. But Pugner's got that pipe coming to him now. So that's going to be his advantage there.
They certainly will, and have the advantage in the next fight. That I don't think they'll be expecting the pipe. I mean, Pugner's basically picked it out completely out of combat so far on. They would have had to be very, very attentive to notice the hood and the extremely quick gank that they got on Godot just there. So it might have a bit of surprise factor there as well. If Slicks comes forward under the BKB and they instantly pipe and just turn on him, he's going to be in a very bad position.
Yeah, and Ball's now building a Shiva's Guard by the looks of it. He's got the plate mail. So that's most likely going to be his pickup. Not actually that far away from it, and has the Force Staff online. So he's going to be a big threat. Plus the Sheepstick now is finished on the Nature's Prophet. Lippy has gone the way of the Ghost Scepter just to keep him a bit safer. But as we said earlier, you know, you click that and then all the magic damage comes out from CSW and all of a sudden you die. It's a double-edged sword, but I think it's just basically if Lycan finds you, you have no other choice. Just go Scepter TP and hope that it lasts long enough and he hasn't got a bash yet. Yeah. Which I'm guessing is going to be his next pickup.
We're going to see
now in a spot of trouble. He's fine.
Super go!
Fast.
Run!
Oh, look! Look, Lippy got the wolf! He's going to be the little mini wolf!
Oh, go Lippy. Wolf it up.
Yes!
I love that.
So
and it's
cool.
actually a great spell for Rubik to have because you move at maximum move speed. It's a lot easier to get a lift off.
Yeah, you have like, it basically just gives you that sweet initiation range, and you also have a crit, which is kind of cool, right?
There's support. I'm hitting for 150. Yes.
Oh yeah.
It's so much, but I think Rubik, the reasoning for the Ghost Scepter is that in all of these fights, they've been setting the Necro units and the Lycan Wolves on the Rubik, so he can't get off a secondary lift, secondary, you know, Steel and Fade Bolt. So they've really been targeting him with more of the melee damaging units. All of the burst damage so far has been reserved for Shaitan and Balls, and to an extent Endless Winter. So I think it's a decent pickup for him with the prioritization that's been happening in the game so far. Yeah,
definitely, and it's a good thing to do for CSW, keeping that Rubik out of the fights. I mean, they could use it on someone else, but everyone else feels like they're just in the fight real deep. So, I mean, keeping him on the back ends is going to help. And Endless Winter, he's basically just going to avoid the fight now, I think. But as we said, you know, picking up the Scythe of Ice, that means you want to fight. It means you want to be there, but he can't rat Dota if he's in the fight. So it's kind of a double-edged thing.
Yeah, it's great for pickoffs if you can get them. We saw earlier Godot getting caught out of position, but that was before they even had the Scythe. So, you're never going to say no to an extra disable on your team. He just really has to wait it out before he TPs into these fights for those BKBs to go down. And I think he can really kind of go ham in these fights. He's hitting decently. He's got quite a bit of tank from the Scythe and the Necro book as well, sitting at 1.8k HP, 13 armor, so, you know, he's no lightweight. I think if he does get a Desolator next, he's going to be hitting really hard on towers and heroes, so Scythe not necessarily bad, but I think I would have rather seen Deso Scythe than Scythe Deso. We are going to have Firestarter with basically no item progression thus far. After getting that Blink Dagger and Mana Boots, he's got nothing. He's sitting at level 11, so he does have that level 2 ult, which is great. But since then, really nothing to be had by him. That full-on hardcore 5 position support. And early on, Guani, it really hurt him to buy back into the death because he went from having about 1k gold to about 200. It really set back the Blink Dagger, but now that he has it, he's pretty much sitting equal with ES in terms of items. They basically have carbon copies of what each other have. In fact, they do. They're even in the same slots. It's just the number of one charges that's different.
That's how you do it, man. You gotta solidarity. That's what it is.
Sport power. Of course,
Yep.
we can take this time to thank our sponsors, TT Esports, who have supplied all of the prizes for this final, the top 3 prizes. So thank you very much, TT Esports.
Carry on.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Thanks.
And that Aegis is going to be reclaimed in a second. So Kirei getting that sweet, sweet mana regen, but now the Aegis gone. So Hans have been able to successfully wait it out, but you know, at the moment they have the map control. We were saying before they were behind in all the graphs, but it seemed that they were winning the game. And if you look at the graphs, they've pulled it back from a 10k deficit to only 4k. And then if you look at the gold... Whoops. I accidentally quit out of the game there.
Nice.
Yep. It was
Nice.
hidden. My buttons were hidden out.
And you're even your camera is just staring at the trees. There we go.
I'm sure it is.
Yep. You're back. Alright, but everybody's closing in on each
we're
other. You need to get back in like
Yep,
right
I'm
now.
here. I'm right here.
Okay.
We're going to see a blink in. Guani getting stunned out, though. The epicenter hasn't been thrown out. We're going to see a big Shiva's Guard getting thrown. Balls dropping very low. Big ultimate coming through from Firestarter. Slicks is going to drop down. Endless Winter doing a lot of damage here, and Shaitan just trying to drain Kirei. In comes the epicenter now. Shaitan in a bit of trouble, but the buybacks are coming out now. A triple kill for Firestarter, and the Necro Warriors are just fighting each other. Hans getting a great advantage there, forcing out a lot of buybacks, and Endless Winter here just hitting through, up at 3.7k health now, and the buybacks are definitely warranted. They need to try and defend this base, but look at the creep support that they have for this. Hans looking good to take a second Rax and the first game of this series.
Dyer's mid
Yeah, and everybody is back alive. There are other 2 supports still down. The epicenter obviously is gone. And the Crystal Man didn't eventually get
here on
things right.
Godot, and he's gonna die almost instantly. Lippy then force-stuffing himself back. Lycan can't even get off a right click.
Yeah, and this is looking very bad for CSW. The second Rax is going down, and they could probably just go straight back up the top, or just play it safe, but I think they're just going to go for it, as Hans Reborn aren't the team to back off once they've got the advantage. And Kiddo now, his ulti is off cooldown. He did pick up the basher after the buyback, so is this the fight where they keep them out of the base, or is this the end for them?
They definitely need to do something. A nice multi-hero stun coming out from Guani. Slicks popping to BKB. They're getting slowed so much there. The right clicks. Shaitan trying to run. In comes Kirei, but dropping down a half health almost instantly. The burst damage is too much, and the pipe was giving them too much protection. Necro Warriors everywhere. Guani gonna get picked up and slammed by the Earthshaker. Endless Winter picking up the kill. This tier 3 tower is going down, and the Rax looking very much in danger. It's completely melting right now, and the stun just gonna miss by Lippy. Throws out the ethereal form instantly. Muffin Man, BKB, and ultimate coming through, but I think it's just a case of too little, too late. Kirei trying to do as much as he can, getting a nice bash off on balls, but he's just running. Slicks getting stunned out, getting killed off, and now Kirei getting picked up, thrown back. Balls is still here, gets a kill on Lippy, but does go down. It's mega creeps for Hans, and the good game is called by CSW.
Yeah, fantastic gameplay by Hans Reborn. CSW definitely didn't look out of it though that whole time. They really looked like they could come into it, but
I have to say,
I mean, Hans Reborn just beating them
what
out.
an experience swing. It went from 10k to CSW's favor up to 13k in Hans's favor.
almost instantly.
Just with those last two fights.
Yeah. Fantastically played by both teams, though.
Just extremely well played. So we are going to have the next game coming up for you very shortly. The series tied up now 1-1. CSW did come into this with a 1-game advantage for being in the upper bracket. I am the Spectre. Joining me is Daredevil Dan. If you want to watch on stream, it's twitch.tv/Southern Cross Dota.
And if you liked our casting, you can follow myself at Daredevil Dota on Twitter, and you can follow SpecDota at SpecDota as well.
Yes, indeedy.